Mexico starts right now.
Good morning. Taking a look outside with live cam, 62 degrees at 8 a.m. You can see that mist kind of over our viewing area. If you didn't get rain last night, I know parts of our viewing area did. You still have a chance throughout the weekend. Sarah Spivey will explain in just a bit.
Thank you for joining us. It's 8 o'clock on Saturday, March 16th. And like you just said, it's misting out there and there's possibility of more storms and possible showers today and tomorrow.
That's right. And Sarah, I know some people very small parts of our viewing area even got some hail last night.
Southeast Bexar County and parts near Lavernia in the afternoon yesterday did get some quarter-sized hail, but the front stalled south of San Antonio, and that's where the focus of some storminess is right now. Take a look at Pearsall, Pleasanton, Atascosa County. We've got this area of storms that's gradually moving east-northeast. So this main area of storms is going to continue to move east, potentially impacting the Floresville area within the next hour and a half. Around San Antonio right now, we've just got areas of mist and light rain, but take a look at Medina County, another round of showers pushing through. Now, as we've been saying, this weekend is not a washout, but there will be times where we'll have a few showers and maybe even a storm or two. Outside right now, again, muggy morning with areas of mist and light rain. Visibility is down to 5 miles. Here's a look at this weekend's forecast. 40% coverage of a few showers and storms throughout the day. At any given moment, there's about going to be a 40% coverage. High temperatures right near 70 degrees. Hoping for some very good rain here within the next couple of days, as next week looks a little dry, and we'll be looking at temperatures cooler to start the week as well. More on the timeline for the rain coming up in a bit. Sarah.
Thank you, Sarah. New this morning, police are searching for who shot and killed a man on the city's west side. San Antonio police say this happened at the Villas on Springvale. That's an apartment complex near Highway 90 just before 11 last night. 2 people allegedly got into an argument, according to police, and the suspect started shooting at that victim. The man who was shot did not survive, and that suspect took off. This is an ongoing investigation. If you have any information, you're asked to call SAPD. And the trial of Jose Ruiz wrapping up this week when an attorney needed medical attention, bringing the day 4 of the trial to an abrupt halt.
Yeah, so Ruiz is charged with injury to a child in the death of 5-year-old Mercedes Lozoya. And this morning, I'm going to explain just how this trial could end early next week.
We have a little break right now.
Defense attorney Teresa Conley asked the judge to pause proceedings nearly an hour into testimony. EMS was soon called in as a precaution, and Conley was taken to a hospital to get checked out. This happened as Chief Medical Examiner Dr. Kimberly Molina was on the stand. She described how the abuse and torture Mercedes Lozoya suffered contributed to her death more than 2 years ago. Jurors were shown images and heard testimony on the 5-year-old's injuries throughout the week.
Numerous injuries were identified upon the body, including contusions, which are bruises, abrasions, which are scratches, and a laceration, which is a skin tear. Specifically, the laceration was on the back of the head. The contusions and abrasions were scattered over the entirety of the body, most averaging around the size of 1 inch, but ranging up to about 4 inches.
Dr. Molina described how the extensive trauma caused Mercedes' muscles to break down, resulting in kidney failure and heart failure. She also pointed out that this happens usually after prolonged trauma to the body. The defense co-counsel was able to cross-examine Dr. Molina. After that, the jury was let go for the day. Now, the trial is expected to continue on Monday, and we'll see what the defense has planned for their case as the state will be resting. Also, there is a possibility a jury could begin deliberations later Monday or on Tuesday.
In your morning headlines, the clock is ticking as Congress faces yet another possible government shutdown. The next critical government funding deadline is March 22nd. That's this upcoming Friday. So negotiators are trying to hammer out deals on 6 bills. If that doesn't happen, funding will stop a number of departments and agencies, including Homeland Security, Defense, Treasury, Education, and Labor. A week ahead of the deadline also triggers certain protocols for departments who are now required to start making plans before a possible shutdown.
The Supreme Court has decided public officials can block people on social media in certain circumstances. That ruling came after it tossed aside challenges against local government officials in Michigan and California who blocked followers who were critical of them on Facebook. The case has raised important First Amendment questions about whether social media are private or whether they are an extension of the government.
In your morning money news, Texas college students facing a major deadline for financial aid. They have 1 month to meet the priority deadline for their aid applications.
And as our Avery Everett learns, some schools are finally receiving student data from the Department of Education after major glitches caused delays.
Even on spring break, the University of the Incarnate Word's Office of Financial Assistance is staying busy.
We just got our first file. It only had 7 students in it, and I can't load it yet, but files are moving.
After months of delays, the U.S. Department of Education is sending student financial aid data to colleges, including Incarnate Word.
We're making baby steps.
Several issues have been reported with the redesigned version of the free application for federal student aid, or FAFSA. These have caused delays in the Education Department releasing data to colleges, meaning students have to wait longer to learn their financial aid offerings.
In a typical year, the Department of Education says around 17 million students end up filling out the FAFSA application. But this year so far, only 5.5 million have ended up filling out the new form. That's a difference of 11.5 million people. So where did they go? Well, San Antonio colleges say it might have been because of the delay in the application actually opening. In a typical year, that application opens in October. And this year with the new form, it only opened in late December.
We're seeing things that we haven't seen before. This has been like no other FAFSA season.
The San Antonio Education Partnership that runs Cafe College says most FAFSA glitches have been fixed, but they say some students are still having problems, specifically those in a mixed status family, where parents might be of a different citizenship or immigration status.
Our biggest concern right now is that some students, or a large number of students, will be discouraged.
But with 1 month left before Texas's financial aid application priority deadline, San Antonio schools say they're relieved.
I think I jumped up and stuck my hands up in the air when I got my file yesterday, because it's like finally we've got that first big step of I have data, I can see a processed FAFSA.
Avery Everett, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Avery. And student and isn't the only deadline a month away. You also have a month left to file your taxes. So people living in San Antonio can use a volunteer income tax assistance program till April 15th to file their taxes for free. You can get those services at 13 locations throughout San Antonio and Fredericksburg. Some of those locations offer refund anticipation loans, and they don't charge fees or interest. For more information, visit sa.org.
After a massive settlement with the National Association of Realtors, the standard 6% realtor commission on buying or selling a home has come to an end. This is because some home sellers had sued them for conspiring to keep agent commissions artificially inflated. The NAR has agreed to pay $418 million in damages. It's also agreed to new rules, one of which prevents sellers' brokers from setting buyers' agents' compensation. Now, realtors can compete on commissions, allowing new home buyers to shop around.
No Mega Millions jackpot winner from last night's drawing. It was the 28th consecutive drawing with no ticket matching all the numbers. The next drawing will be Tuesday. That jackpot estimated to be $875 million. We didn't win here at KSAT.
Keeping our fingers crossed there.
Our KSAT bookie who does the pool. He came around and I put my $3
so did I.
in. So
we're all
hopefully
set.
We will win.
We'll see.
It's 8:09 and 62 degrees.
A live look with Live Cam. After the break, we'll check in with Sarah. As you can see, it's very misting outside. We'll have to see what she has to say about our forecast.
Tomorrow is St. Patrick's Day, and the San Antonio River is set to be dyed green today using 25 gallons of, don't worry, it's eco-friendly dye. The fish, all the organisms,
they will be okay.
They will be okay.
The river will be dyed starting at 11 this morning along the Museum Reach. And then this afternoon at 3, it'll move to the downtown stretch of the river. This is a great opportunity to get that out there this weekend. it's okay. We might see some rain, right, though, Sarah? But
yeah,
not a complete washout.
Happening rain and shine, and like you said, not a complete washout out there. We do have some areas of mist and light rain right now and some thunderstorms south of San Antonio. Let's go ahead and take a look at your authority radar, and you can see where the storms are at the moment, working their way through Atascosa County, Frio County. Around San Antonio, just some mist and pockets of light rain out there. Visibility is pretty low. Let's go ahead and take a look at this storm that's approaching Hondo here. Just a brief flash of lightning that's moving to the northeast, could impact areas in 1604 here just within the next 30 minutes or so. But we just received a severe thunderstorm warning for parts of Frio County. I was watching this area of hail earlier just to the east of Derby. This is a severe thunderstorm warning for areas in Frio County and the extreme western portion of Atascosa County, probably for at least quarter-sized hail here. This warning is in effect until 9 o'clock for both Frio County east of 35 and the extreme northwestern corner of Atascosa County until 9 o'clock this morning. The main threat here will be areas of hail potential for about quarter-sized hail. Let's go ahead and track that hail core. If this storm can hold together, it would be right at that Atascosa line by about, let's see if we can get that sampled there. It would be for areas right on the Atascosa line by about 9 o'clock. So again, this has the potential for some hail. This storm is not headed to San Antonio, so we don't need to worry about hail potential in San Antonio immediately. But if you do live out at Goldfinch, please make sure to stay inside and away from windows. This is outside of the city of Pearsall, though, so if you're in Pearsall, don't need to worry about it. Atascosa County, there could be some pockets of hail here, too, just south of Pleasanton for areas nearer to Charlotte. So if you're tuning in Charlotte, Jourdanton, you could see some small nickel-sized hail, pita nickel-sized hail in those areas, too. So I'll keep an eye on that storm. It is moving northeast, but it's likely to stay south of San Antonio. I will keep you posted. Otherwise, that's a great example of the kind of rain we could see today. Pretty spotty showers and storms, about 40% coverage. So not raining all day, but a day that you do want to stay weather aware. 62 degrees outside at the airport, 57 in Boerne, 59 in Comfort, 63 in Hondo. Visibility is down to a mile right now in San Antonio because of the mist, because of the fog. So a bit of a damp start to the day. Here's a look at our weather setup. We've got several storm systems that are moving pretty random in motion, and this is a great example of the kind of weather that we'll see today. These kinds of storms, hard to pin down their exact motion and movement. They're along a stationary boundary aided by an upper level low that's providing a little bit of energy. So as we take a look at your futurecast, this is the best futurecast we have right now to take a look at what could happen. And again, this afternoon, just a few spotty showers and storms out there. Not a washout, about 40% coverage. Then as we head into the evening, any storms that develop could be strong. So we will keep you posted, just like that storm that's in parts of Frio County. The potential is there for some quarter-sized hail. As we head into tomorrow, rain chances are pretty much limited to the morning hours. In the afternoon, a lot less coverage for us. So again, taking a look at those storm chances, 40% on and off again showers and storms coming up in the evening hours, and then by tomorrow, mostly in the morning. So taking a look at your KSAT 12-hour forecast, a few clouds and showers here and there. As we head into the afternoon, about 40% coverage. Highs will only be near 70 degrees. And looking ahead to the forecast, a cooler start to next week with highs in the 60s. Guys, I'm going to continue to track that severe storm in Frio County, east of Pearsall, headed northeast into Atascosa County.
Thank you, Sarah.
Thanks. Your time now is I'm still at 6 o'clock. It's 8:17. It is 62 degrees.
You're okay, Erica. All right, still ahead. Do you have a doorbell camera? Mine just went off. I got an alert. There was a car in my driveway. It's helpful with deliveries and seeing kids coming home from school, but new studies say it can also bring some uninvited guests. 12 on your side's Marilyn Moritz explains after the break. Welcome back. If you have a video doorbell and you are planning to buy one, you're going to want to see this. Some video doorbells sold on Amazon and other big websites have some troubling security flaws.
Yeah, this is kind of creepy a little bit. As 12 on your sides, Marilyn Moritz explains, someone could be watching you come and go from your home and you'd likely never know it.
This image is from a video doorbell, but get this, it was watched from 3,000 miles away. It's creepy and concerning. Outsiders aren't supposed to have access to the doorbell, but security was so poor, Consumer Reports researchers got to it. It was all part of an investigation into video doorbell security.
We were really surprised to find that anyone could walk up to one of these doorbells and take it over in a matter of seconds, and from there actually view screenshots of the doorbell potentially from thousands of miles away.
Consumer Reports tests uncovered several video doorbells with serious security flaws. They all use the same mobile app called Awit. The ones CR tested are sold under the brand names Ekin and Tuck, but they're also sold under many other names, including Fishbot, RakeBlue, Ando, and LuckWolf. Big retailers like Amazon, Walmart, Sears, Shein, and Temu sell them.
Your home is deeply personal and private. If someone is able to view your doorbell camera and see when you come and go, it presents a lot of security risks. For example, an abuser or a stalker could keep tabs on a victim, and it could create a very dangerous situation.
Experts blame cheap, insecure electronics from Chinese manufacturers flooding U.S. marketplaces.
Retailers do very little to vet these products, and it's very easy to become a seller on one of these online marketplaces.
Sarah contacted Ekin and Tuck, but got no response.
So what can you do? Well, if you have a video doorbell that uses this app and it looks like the doorbells we showed you, Consumer Reports recommends you disconnect it and remove it.
They have tested video doorbells with much better security from brands including Logitech, Simply Safe, and Ring. Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Marilyn. It's 8:23, 62 degrees. Sarah, we have an update from you.
Yeah, I just want to give folks a quick update on this severe storm that is in Frio County, moving northeast at about 30 miles per hour, capable of some quarter-sized hail for areas just east of Pearsall. Now, the same system is potentially producing some smaller hail for areas like Charlotte as well, but it's this storm that's closer to Pearsall that could be producing that quarter-sized hail, moving northeast at about 30 miles per hour. If you're inside of this severe thunderstorm warning, it's best to stay indoors and away from windows. It's pretty far-fetched to see if this storm makes it to Bexar County, but if it does hold on the off chance it would make it to southern Bexar County by about 9:40. I will continue to keep you posted. We'll have more news after the break.
In our Saturday Spotlight, we want to say a big congratulations to a local doctor who's reaching new heights.
Literally, University Health Dr. Kelly Hitchman was climbing Mount Kilimanjaro to raise money and awareness for organ donations. This week, the doctor and 11 other climbers made it to the summit of the 20,000-foot mountain. That is amazing.
Oh, that is such a hard climb. University Health posted these photos on social media showing the climbers at the mountain's peak. Even make it more special, they reached the top on World Kidney Day. Congratulations, that's Dr. Hitchman.
Awesome.
That is not an easy climb. I've had friends do it. You have to do a lot of physical
training, right?
Training and fitness to get through it. Amazing. Good job, guys.
Yeah, congrats. Now, time is 8:28 and it's 62 degrees.
From a battle between the U.S. Supreme Court and a university here in Texas, to what new U.S. Census data is revealing about our state capital, we have our Texas headlines after the break.
Good morning. It's 8:30 on Saturday, March 16th.
Happy to have you with us this morning.
Thanks, you guys. I always love joining you and the Sarahs.
You know, we try to keep it light and cheery, but hey, Sarah, this morning you got some severe weather to talk about.
Yeah, we have a severe thunderstorm warning, not in San Antonio, but southwest of San Antonio, rather, in areas in Frio County. In fact, let's go ahead and focus on that cluster of thunderstorms there. In San Antonio itself, we're just getting some patchy mist and some light rain. Take a look at all of this lightning, though, that's falling from Pearsall. The lightning that's occurring from Pearsall out to Charlotte in Atascosa County, just south of Pleasanton along 37, and even near Falls City as well. I'm going to go ahead and clear up this lightning here and focus on this severe thunderstorm warning, which is in effect mainly for Frio County right now, for areas east of Pearsall, Goldfinch, Shadow, Crown area. All of that is all of those areas are in the risk for up to quarter-sized hail. That severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 9 o'clock this morning, as the storm generally is moving northeast slightly, but we could also see some smaller hail, more like nickel-sized hail, out in areas near Charlotte and near Christine in Atascosa County. So just be aware of that. As I put this in motion here, what you'll notice is that it's pretty stationary. So this is some very heavy rain that's falling from Pearsall to south of Pleasanton. That could lead to some ponding on the roads. Now, it's going to take a lot for this cluster to make it to San Antonio. I don't think that it's necessarily going to happen, but it's something I will keep my eyes on. This is a great example, though, of the kind of rain that we could see at times today. So today's forecast calls for, the weekend's forecast rather, calls for rain, but it's not going to be a washout. Rain chances will continue, however, and if a storm develops, it could be strong, like what we're seeing in Atascosa County right now, capable of some quarter-sized hail. Next, I'll focus on early next week when it's going to be cooler and in the 60s. I'll be back to track that storm capable of hail coming up in just a few minutes. Sarah.
Keep that Weather Authority app handy. Thank you so much, Sarah. A community united in grief. Residents gathered to remember 17-year-old Caitlin Hernandez at a vigil last night held at the drainage ditch where her body was found late Tuesday night.
Now, San Antonio police say the Roosevelt High School senior was strangled, and at last check, no arrests have been made. Garrett Berger was there as people paid their respects.
This spot holds tremendous pain for Caitlin Hernandez's family. One of her aunts saying she doesn't even want to think about what her niece had to go through underneath this very bridge. But the dozens of mourners who came out didn't come to remember that moment, but the 17 years of life that preceded it. They came with flowers and messages of love to show their support. They had balloons, and many dressed in her favorite color, red. And there were also a lot of tears. Tears for the loss of a 17-year-old girl who loved dogs and her sisters, for the diploma she was supposed to hold in just over 2 months' time, and the future she'll never get to grow up and see. Speaking with media beforehand, her family once again asked for help finding the person or people who did this to Caitlin.
And to the person who did this to her, come forward. Don't let them come for you. They're gonna come get you. Turn yourself in. Turn yourself in. Don't be a coward.
Family members said they still can't talk about the case. Crime Stoppers has offered a reward for information leading to an arrest. We have information on how to claim it on our website. Just find this story on ksat.com. Of the dozens of people who showed up here, many didn't even know Caitlin, as evidenced by a show of hands during the vigil. But still, they came to offer their respects and show their support for a family going through the unimaginable. On the northeast side, I'm Garrett Berger, KSAT 12 News.
Well, Bexar County District Attorney Joe Gonzalez describes the Texas Attorney General's newly proposed rules as burdensome and unnecessary.
State Attorney Ken Paxton's office announced these new rules earlier this week, making it so the AG's office has more oversight over district attorneys. District and county attorneys would be required to provide additional reporting, quote, relating to criminal matters and interests relating to the state, end quote.
Now, that includes cases in which a peace officer or poll watcher is indicted, or cases involving a person arrested for a violent crime is not indicted. The proposal also lays out consequences for noncompliance, including petitions for removal from office. Now, it would apply to district and county attorneys in counties with populations over 250,000 people. That includes Bexar County DA Joe Gonzalez. Now, the DA's office released a statement saying, in part, quote, shifting limited resources from the courtroom to the copy room in order to comply with these new rules will greatly impact our mission. This proposal from the Attorney General is burdensome, unnecessary, and potentially very costly to our citizens, end quote.
The Attorney General released a statement Wednesday on the proposal that says, in part, quote, district attorneys who choose not to prosecute criminals appropriately have created unthinkable damage in Texas communities. These enhanced reporting standards will create much needed transparency and enable the public to hold their elected officials accountable, end quote. The proposed rule was published in the Texas Register on March 8th, which marked the beginning of a 30-day comment period. So once that ends in early April, the AG's office says it can enact a final rule.
Yeah, and you can read the DA's full statement as well as the Attorney General's proposals right now at ksat.com. Now, in your Texas headlines, the U.S. Supreme Court denied a request by a student group at West Texas A&M University who wanted to host a drag show on campus. Instead, it sided with administrators in their decision to prohibit the performance. Spectrum WT, which is the LGBTQ group on campus, filed an emergency petition with the High Court to let the show go on. Their petition claims the ban violates the First Amendment. Going back to the Supreme Court, the order won't decide the issue. However, it means that while the litigation continues, the group can't host a drag show on campus.
Well, someone new will have to take the reins at the Republican Party of Texas after its current chairman announced last night he's stepping down. Matt Rinaldi shared on social media that he will not seek another term as chairman of the state Republican Party. Regarding his future plans, he wrote in his letter that he would like to focus on spending more time with his wife and 6-year-old son. He also said the successor will be chosen at the upcoming Republican State Convention, which will begin on May 23rd right here in San Antonio.
New data from the U.S. Census shows that the Austin Round Rock San Marcos stretch is no longer the country's fastest growing large metropolitan area like it has been for the last 12 years. Now the Dallas-Fort Worth-Arlington area has taken its place. Estimates from the census show that the metro added more than 50,000 residents between 2022 and 2023. Your time now is it's 8:39 and it is 62 degrees out.
Still ahead, if you're needing some brightness after these gloomy days, I'll show you how sunflowers can bring some light to your garden, especially if you're a first-time gardener or trying to do some gardening with your kiddos.
Taking a live look outside, it is a misting morning outside, and there's some storms popping up in our viewing area. We'll have a full forecast with Sarah after the break. Schreiner University is going all out for next month's total solar eclipse. So are we here? It's Kerrville's campus is in the path of totality.
So staff has spent nearly 2 years prepping for the big weekend of events. Our Patty Santos takes us inside their plans and how you can participate.
Street light. Excitement doesn't begin to describe how Kim Arvidsson feels about April's total solar eclipse.
And so it's a very spectacular event that I think you have to really experience in order to appreciate it.
The associate professor at Schreiner University says Kerrville will be center stage for scientists and astronomy enthusiasts from around the world.
I just get to sit here and the eclipse will come to me. I don't even have to move anywhere, and it's just going to be 4 minutes and 25 seconds right over campus, right over this particular spot. How lucky am I?
While most people will have their eyes set on the sun that afternoon, the telescope at Schreiner's Loftus Observatory will be pointed slightly away from it in hopes of accomplishing one astronomer's goal.
But Dr. Alan Hale, one of the people who discovered the comet Hale-Bopp, that's his name, he wants to use this telescope to observe comets as they pass close to the sun, which is impossible unless something covers the sun.
Arvidsson plans to watch the eclipse here on the university lawn with about 2,000 other campus visitors.
We have had folks that are coming from Germany. We have folks that are coming from San Diego, Los Angeles. We have Michigan.
Shriners festivities will start before the total eclipse. It will host a 5-day campus-wide event centered around the celestial event.
We pride ourselves on doing things that really will help showcase that, but also give community a wonderful experience when they come here.
Adrian Wingard with Shriners says the October partial eclipse was a good run-through. This time, 16 campus apartments will be available for rent, while visitors can also enjoy wine tasting, music, and more.
That is not something you see every day. How often do you see the sun shining through valleys on the moon? Not that often.
The universe loves you.
The universe, yes, the universe loves us and Durango, Mexico, and the rest of the eclipse path.
Patty Santos, KSAT 12 News.
Now we're getting closer to next month's total solar eclipse. Scan this QR code on your screen to see our Eclipse Authority page on our website. You'll be able to find everything you need to know before April 8th. Now, Sarah, we do have some showers out there you want to tell us about?
Yeah, we had a severe thunderstorm warning for parts of Atascosa and Frio County. That severe thunderstorm warning has expired, which is good news. But we are still seeing that cluster of storms south of San Antonio that's capable of producing at least some smaller hail. And around San Antonio, we're really only seeing some light rain and some fog at the moment. So just some light rain moving into Somerset, moving through Castroville at the moment. But this is where most of the thunderstorm activity is focused, from Pearsall out toward Pleasanton, down near Charlotte, and out into parts of southern Wilson County. I'll go ahead and turn on the lightning here, and you can see just how electrified this portion of the storms are. 177 lightning strikes there. And again, we could be seeing some areas of some nickel-sized hail right over Christine at the moment. So if you are in Atascosa County, if you're in Frio County, and after the storms pass, if you'd like to submit your pictures onto KSAT Connect, that would be great. We'd love to be able to show them. As far as will these showers and storms make it to San Antonio, well, they're kind of stationary. They're kind of not moving all that much. Each individual cell is moving to the north at about 5 to 15 miles per hour, but the general cluster is kind of just remaining pretty stationary. But I think this is a good idea of the kind of activity that we could see today. Notice that it's not raining everywhere. All right, today is not going to be a washout. It's not going to be raining everywhere all day. Instead, as we head throughout the day, we will have pockets of showers and storms. We'll call it a blanket 40% coverage, 40% chance at any point during the day. But if you do get some rain, like those folks are getting right now in Atascosa County, if you get a storm, that's some heavy rainfall. I mean, take a look at these rainfall rates. If this storm was just to park itself right over Christine right now for an hour, it would produce about 4.5 inches of rainfall. Now, as I mentioned, it's not going to be there for a whole hour, but it could easily drop a quick 2 inches of rain in those areas. Again, in San Antonio right now, it's just pretty much foggy, misty, with some pockets of light rain here and there. We will continue to have a chance, though, for those storms throughout the day. Not a washout. 62 degrees in San Antonio, 59 in Boerne, 63 in New Braunfels, 65 in Castroville, and 65 in Pleasanton. Fog is limiting visibility to less than a mile in many areas. Visibility down to half a mile in San Antonio at the airport. Take a look at our weather setup. Notice something. Notice how random these showers and storms are. There's many different clusters of showers and storms, all of these producing their own outflow boundaries, which act as their own cold fronts to spark showers and storms pretty randomly. That's why it's going to be hit or miss for the showers and storms, meaning some will get rain, some will miss out on the rain at different points as the stationary boundary has stalled out south of San Antonio. This is all fueled by this upper level low. And so as we look at our rain chances, scattered throughout the day today, we see them pop up overnight, and then by Sunday, mainly rain chances in the morning hours. So in your KSAT 12-hour forecast, not as much activity this morning, potential for more activity in the afternoon, high temperature near 70 degrees. We'll see another chance for rain overnight tonight and Sunday, and then next week our highs are only going to be in the 60s for most of the week, and another chance for rain at least on Wednesday. We will keep you posted. I mean, I think that view of Texas is perfect. It shows just how random the storm motion is and the storm locations are.
Thank you, Sarah.
All right, your time now, it is 8:49 and it's 62 degrees out there.
There's some of those drops and bits of rain across our viewing area on those TransGuide lenses that you see that Sarah's talking about there. Hey, if you are out on the roads, it is misting. You might have those showers in our area. Please stay safe. Right now, we're not seeing any big crashes or any incidents in our area. If we do, of course, we will keep you posted.
It is prime spring planting time, and if you're looking for an affordable and easy way to start a garden, planting sunflowers is the way to go. I'm totally listening.
Yeah, so here's the cool thing about sunflowers. You can plant them along a fence line. Put them in a large flower bed to putting a single seed in a giant pot that's on a sunny apartment balcony. So it's super easy for beginner gardeners and children.
Okay, good.
Yeah, so you can do this with your kids. So in this segment with KSAT, Gardening with KSAT, I'll show you how you can plant sunflowers as well.
Sunflowers can act as security guards or bouncers to your garden, distracting pests away from your other plants. They are good for wildlife, and most importantly, they can bring some major joy to your garden. I was inspired to plant sunflowers by a local woman from a memory care facility.
Sunflowers can be wild. Look at those million of seeds. Look, a plant that tall grows from this tiny seeds.
Let's take these seeds and see what they can do. I got a couple of varieties from Rainbow Gardens. I am planting border sunflowers, which can get 5 to 6 feet tall, and giant sunflowers that grow 12 to 14 feet tall. Sunflowers need full sun, so I watched where in my yard gets 8 hours of sunlight before planting. You want to till up your soil if these are going into new beds. It's important to add an organic compost. I also added an organic seed starter to give my new flower garden a boost. Plant 4 to 6 inches apart and sow ½ inch deep for the smaller varieties and 1 inch deep for the giant sunflowers. Make sure to keep the soil moist as those seedlings get started.
Sarah, I need you to come to my house. I was just telling you, can you just come garden at my house, please?
It's kind of my therapy, you know? It's how I stay sane.
I have a blank slate for you. If you need some more.
Thank you, Erica. You're not the first offer. My poster page is like, a glass of wine, charcuterie, have you and your husband over. You can landscape the yard.
Yes, I had helpers for you too.
It sounds like I should have a new business plan.
There you go.
8:55 and 62 degrees.
It's the last weekend of spring break. Up next, we'll take a look at some stories trending on KSAT Kids that can help plan a last hurrah. Right now on KSAT.com, spring break is winding down, but there's still so much time left to make some memories, and the San Antonio Public Library has a variety of activities for the family to enjoy. They have a lot of free options to keep the kids entertained, including story time, movies, and even the chance to practice reading skills by reading to a dog. I think I'm gonna have to go just do that to have fun with these dogs. There's also some eclipse-related fun.
Okay, another option. What better way to enjoy this time of year than to visit one of the many beautiful Texas state parks? However, you're going to want to make those plans now and make reservations because parks can fill up. So don't just hop in and drive. Make sure you go on their website and make those reservations, especially before students go back to school on Monday. So they're going to be quite busy this weekend. Some of the more popular spots include Enchanted Rock, Lost Maples, and Blanco State Park. For either story, just look for these articles on KSAT.com under the Kids tab. Also, just pack, some light rain gear, like Sarah's been saying, pop-up showers, but nothing to cancel the plans.
Yep, that's correct. So it is now 863 degrees. A charter school network that was recently placed under a conservatorship is now getting an expansion. We'll tell you why after the break.